Good morning. It's time for another weekly review based on the occurrences, activities, shenanigans, hula baloos that are going on in my country, Kenya. And so, yesterday, while attending a youth leadership function by the Emerging Leaders Foundation out there in Uhuru Park, Chief Justice Emeritus, who retired, David Maraga, hinted or finally talked and said that if he were given an opportunity to run this country, the only thing he would do is make sure people follow the law. Period. One sentence, the entire country sorted.
The truth of the matter is, what is ailing this country and many African countries is corruption. The moment you deal with the corruption, we will have no problem. If I were to be given the privilege to govern this country, I'll get everybody to obey the law. The moment you have everybody obeying the law, everything will fall into place. And that's the only problem we have. The moment you get everybody obeying the law, the question of money not going through the consolidated fund will end. The moment of diverting funds from a given project to another will end, and the country will run smoothly.
And this is a debate that truly is worth having. Are Kenyans ready to follow the law? Simple. It might not be an angelic nation, it might not be 100%, but are Kenyans ready to follow the law? Over so many years, I think, since even the initial regimes, whether it's Kenyatta 1, Daniel Arap Moi, who was called Uncle Dan or Toro, if you prefer. Then we came over to Kibaki, which was literally amazing. Then we came on to Kenyatta 2, and now on to Ruto, or must go. Man, hasn't this country seen shenanigans? So the word law, what exactly does a country mean to follow the law? In the year 2010, August, this country promulgated the new constitution, which has been literally worshipped as the best ever document this country has seen in years. Talking about Bill of Rights, talking about leadership, talking about different ways of doing different things. And the Constitution as a document has literally been an amazing piece. But is the Constitution serving us? Is that document supreme? Are we the people powerful? What is happening? How is the Constitution being mutilated day and night by the three arms of the government, which have been put in place to keep each other in check?
Political leaders come with vested interests. They want to use their positions for personal gain, and as a result, they come up with quite a number of false theories that don't work. And that's where the problems are. And in a democracy, you need the judiciary, you need the legislature, and you need the executive, as well as independent commissions, to play their role and operate within their spheres of influence, and we'll have a very good country.
Here we are. We have the executive, we have the judiciary, and we have the legislature. Are they living within the law? Or are people spending days and days gobbling taxpayers' money, just taking us through circus? As Patrick Lumumba called it, a theater of the absurd. And so that is the main point. Dear Kenyans, are we ready to follow the law? And you know, one thing that comes to my mind is this. For people who have traveled and gone to different parts of the world, you happen to realize that There are countries that people do things according to the law. And obviously, human beings are human beings. The mischief will come here and there. But when the law works, life becomes what it is. Can you imagine walking into a building and somebody serves you, whether they know you or not, whether they know your tribe or not, they know the role they were employed. They know their duty. And that's what they do. I have watched several videos, of the border control police doing their job. And man, you wonder which worlds people are living in. Somebody does their job from one point to the end very expeditiously. From suspicion, investigation, to apprehension. And finally, investigations that make you be taken in or even be repatriated back to your country. And you're like, oh my, does this actually happen? Without somebody going to their pocket and saying, take this, let me just move. No way. I am here to do my work and I am empowered to do my work. And so when the Chief Justice talked about following the law, I was like, this is a widely traveled person and he knows it is doable. I got this opportunity to be in the Netherlands a while back. And you look at how people drive between Netherlands, Sweden, Germany, just within the border towns. You look at how buses operate, how employees do their work, and you're like, oh my, is this really how people live here? The parking system works, the traffic lights work, the train timing works, the bus timings work. Go to any university, things are working. And so the law works. While there will be obviously here and there, but the law makes life very easy. But Kenyans are in love with the politicians. Kenyans are in love with MPs. Kenyans are in love with politics. Kenyans love shenanigans. Kenyans love theatrics. That is what we vote. And there's a time I asked a friend of mine, when you walk around during elections and you see banners put all over the place, and you see the kind of people campaigning, you look at names and you're wondering, are these the people we associate with? And you see Major I don't know what, Papa something, Kados Buddha, and you're looking at these names and you're thinking, man, what are these nicknames that we're used to in the estate that just sound thuggish, sound off plan, Can't we even have leaders who have very clear names based on what they have achieved in this life, what they promise to do in terms of policy? So when we gather all this kind of community, let me not use that name, and put them all as MCAs at the city council office, we gather another bunch and put them in as members of parliament in another house, then Senate, and finally the house on the hill. What then do we expect when these are the people who are sitting in those houses? Are they wheeler dealers? Are they people to just cut deals, to negotiate? Or are they going in there intellectually to legislate, to oversight, and to do what we need them to do for the country? So when we are talking about minerals, when we are talking about exports, imports, we are talking about exchange rates, managing our foreign policy, we are talking about different aspects of international communications. Where do we find our place? Kenyans love politicians. And when we do that, for 5 years, we begin to complain and complain and complain. What is happening to the shilling? What is happening to our FDI? What is happening to our domestic communications? What is happening to our leadership? What is happening to our institutions? What is happening to our everything? But when it comes to the election day, Kenyans love politicians. So finally, last year, June, a young group of people called the Gen Zs proved to be somehow tired of politicians. They tried it and they actually went all the way into parliament with a plan to go into State House and even change things around. Politicians scuttled that. Abductions scared everybody else. Deaths were threatened. We were called prisoners. And today, people are very, very scared. But Kenyans are amazing people. A small bunch of committed people have proven that this battle has to go on. We have to change things. We have to change systems. And so, when we get to this level, our former president, who was the president number 2, said, Siasa Mbaya, Maisha Mbaya. Loosely translated, bad politics, bad living. And that is literally what we have to date. So, I recently had the president talk and say, whatever it is you people want to do, whether you fill papers or do everything, so that we go back to a certain medical health national system, we are not going there. You want us to go back there so that you can still. Yet what it has been replaced with is now being considered the greatest scenario of a scandal of this administration.
Told off critics of the new health insurance cover, claiming they are a bunch of cartels who've been making fraudulent and false claims to defraud the now defunct NHIF.
Nimefanya consortium kubwa. Tukasema we are going to have a consortium of technology companies that is going to make sure that there are no fraudulent claims in SHA. And they are going to make sure that that system will not be paid for by the government of Kenya. It will be a fee-for-service facility that will make sure that we protect citizens' contribution. The people who are complaining are the fellows who have been stealing from us. They don't want a technology system that works, because they want to continue stealing from us. I want to tell them the stealing is over, my friends. Move on.
So who is who? We are leaving one institution which is being considered the greatest money heist, going into another one which is being considered even more great in terms of his money heist. This is the president talking vis-a-vis the Auditor General, Controller of Budget, and all these powerful offices. So, dear Kenyans, are all these shenanigans? Do we have people whom we put into office to oversight and tell us the plain truth? Or who did we put in office? Who exactly did we put in office? Are they helping us do the job we put them there to do? Or did we just pick people from the estates, neighborhoods, our region, our man, our tribe, and push them in there? It all starts and ends with leadership. But Kenyans have been taken round into theatrics that we fall in love with politicians. And when the politicians turn around and mess us up, we all cry. But then when it comes to elections, Kenyans elect politicians. So dear Kenyans, maybe this is a wake-up call that for once we can become kingmakers. We can pick a person who is willing to steer this country on to the new level. Will we do it? It's all up to us. Will we make a change? It's all up to us. Do we want politicians to keep on playing absurd? It's all up to us. But Kenya is transforming, will transform, and will change. This is our time to make a difference. If you will make a difference, it is your choice. Let us not say we cannot do it. It takes one man to make that decision. I, as Albert Nation, will become a kingmaker. Will you become a kingmaker? Do you care about this country? Do you care about the future of this nation? Do you care about your generations? Do you care about where the nation is heading to? If you don't, well and good. I care. I will be a kingmaker. Will you be a kingmaker? Let us change this country. Let us make the politicians become intellectuals, professionals, and people who are there to legislate, to oversight, and to make the country become greater. Let's not focus on theatrics and spend 5 years crying day and night. Kenya is changing. Will you be the change maker? Will you be the king maker? Thank you so much. It's time to change. Let us elect amazing people. Let us make kings. Let us make queens. Let us transform this country. It is possible. Thank you. Have a lovely day.